Since November last year, we've been trying to build our very own Pokemon business out of thin air. With no fancy startup funding, not really any solid plan, just a dream to one day open up our own Pokemon store.
So when Whatnot asked us to be a part of their biggest event of the year, we did what any sane, well-prepared team would do. We said yes immediately, then gave ourselves about 10 days to work out what it is that we were actually going to do. This is the story of the biggest, most chaotic, and most important stream we've ever done.
Okay, so if you're new around here, my name is Max and I've been documenting every step of building my Pokemon business right here on YouTube. Some of you know this already, but a lot of what we do is we sell over on a platform called Whatnot. Now, Whatnot is basically a live selling platform that lets you buy things like booster packs, singles, graded cards, and basically it's just a way to spend probably too much money on shiny cardboard, which to be honest, is what I always end up doing. Now, we use Whatnot mainly to build up cash and a bit of momentum whilst we're in the process of trying to get our own brick and mortar store. Now, you're probably wondering, what makes this event so different from everything else? This is Whatnot Card Show 6, a weekend event that takes place once a year where the whole app is taken over by sellers trying to outdo each other with massive streams. It's filled with huge giveaways and a lot of money. Whatnot reached out and asked if we wanted to be a headline part of their event, which basically means that the entire time you're live, your show gets pushed to the top of the list, which means a lot more reach, a lot more potential customers coming into the stream and seeing what we're all about. If we pulled it off, it could be a big boost in followers, a load more regulars to the channel, and a lot more fuel in the tank to grow the business. So all we needed was an idea. We'd left ourselves maybe 10 days to do this, which was a bit of an issue because sourcing Pokemon right now is an absolute nightmare. We knew we wanted to do something unique for the stream, but actually coming up with the idea was somehow the hardest part of the whole thing. The first idea we landed on was something I feel like everyone does, a vintage box break. So think stuff like Jungle, Fossil, Team Rocket boxes, things like that. So anyone that came into the shop that night and bought something would be entered to win a pack from the break completely for free. So we started making calls, asking around, and trying to find a box that we could actually get in time. But no one was letting go of their sealed vintage. And if they were, it wasn't arriving in under 10 days. What? No, you can't have a shower at mine. It was like 1 a.m. one night and I was scrolling Facebook Marketplace and I was genuinely considering driving 4 hours to pick up a Jungle box from a guy called Darren who had zero profile picture and typed it in all caps. That's when I realized we'd lost the plot. So yeah, that set us back. We lost days on this idea, mainly just because we didn't want to let it go, even though it clearly wasn't going to happen. So eventually we shifted gears and we started looking at modern sets instead. And then it hit us. Terrestrial Festival. What if we gave away every single evolution from the set, all graded in a PSA 10? I had genuinely no idea how much that was going to cost us, but it sounded so cool, so we ran with it. Now we just had to actually find them. Next up was buying, and timing-wise, we got lucky. Because 1 week before the stream was CardCon. We had a decent bit of cash behind us, so we'd been streaming consistently leading up to the event, so things weren't looking too bad on that front. Plus we had some stock that we'd been slowly building up over the last couple of months, which would be perfect for a stream just like this. The goal was to build out a stream with a proper structure, so having a few products that could act as main events to the stream, and then getting a few filler items to kind of run as quick flash sales to keep the stream moving. We were mainly looking for the good stuff, you know, like high-end booster boxes, graded cards, vintage packs, things that would really get people going when they come on screen. We did have one main priority, of course, which was picking up all of the Terra Festival Evolution cards. Without that, the whole idea just falls apart. I actually filmed a separate video for this where I try and buy them from different vendors all in one day, and you can watch that by clicking up here. But whilst that was happening, we were also looking for everything else. So things like packs, graded cards, slabs, anything that we thought would hit well on stream. And we were haggling, trying to buy smart from these vendors without being too annoying, which is a pretty fine line to walk at a card show.
By the end of the day though, we left with 2 cars filled with stock, including all the evolutions, which was mad. It was probably the most productive convention we've ever done, but also probably the most expensive as well. Here is some of the stuff that we picked up.
We got about 10 of these Terra Festival booster boxes. We're going to be giving away sealed boxes of this, not just the packs, the actual whole sealed boxes. We found this Unified Minds ETB, which is like just crazy, so cool. We got some mid-era packs as well, so we got Black and White Plasma Blast, we got XY packs, we've got things like Unified Minds, Unbroken Bonds, we've got some Hidden Fates as well. We found an EV Heroes box, which is so cool. We're going to be running some breaks on that. We also got a Long Crimp Jungle pack, and then even better than that, we got 4 Long Crimp Team Rocket packs. I'm hoping people rip these. And then second to last, we got this Team Up booster box, which is mad. These things are so expensive now. And finally, probably the coolest pickup was this Pokemon Edition Nintendo 64, which we're also going to be running as a buyer's giveaway as well. So we're giving this away completely for free.
I miss CardCon, not the actual experience of being there, but just because it was probably the last time all of this was pretty calm. When we got home, everything started spiraling work-wise, so we had to get the entire stream ready. Every single item had to be added to the store. We had to take photos of everything. We had to plan out the order of appearance of the items so that we could get the flow right. We had 10 buyers giveaways to run, 10. Not including the N64 either, because we bought that on a whim. So we couldn't just wing it and hope that it all came together. We actually had to plan out when things were going to happen, which we're famously not very good at. We ended up mapping a giveaway out every 30 minutes with a highlight or a big thing happening in between, and flash sales to help people get into the giveaways at the last minute, which in theory sounds pretty easy. But in reality, it meant someone, me, was basically up all night creating product images, making listings on the store, which meant setting all the pricing and the shipping information, the titles and descriptions, everything. The entire flat was covered in cards and cables, mild resentment, but it was coming together slowly. Then we needed to get the actual setup ready. I moved the desk out of the office and into the lounge because I'm not sitting in a dark cupboard for 6+ hours.
The problem with the office is it's quite a small room and it is right at the back of my flat. So there's no windows in the room whatsoever. So when you're sat in there for like more than 2 hours, you go a little bit crazy. I don't think it's a good idea to have me and Luke both streaming in that small of a room for 6+ hours. I just think it's gonna be so uncomfortable.
And this is where we ended up with it all. Now it was just a case of actually running the stream, and this is where it hit me, probably a bit late, but I really had this overwhelming feeling that we'd overspent for this. I'd been told by Whatnot that we should plan to make this our biggest stream we've ever done, which we'd definitely done, but I couldn't help but feel that maybe we weren't going to get the traffic that we needed to actually sell everything. Or maybe people just wouldn't even like the stock that we'd picked out. I think with all the time and effort put into this, if we were to go live and nobody wants to buy anything, or we had under like 100 viewers at this point, we would be extremely disappointed. We'd put a lot of pressure on this moment and basically emptied the vaults to be able to afford all the stock. So we really, really needed this to work. And that's when we went live. Okay, so we went live around 6 p.m. and we were immediately flooded with viewers. We'd been gassing this stream up for weeks now in Instagram and on other streams, so a load of our regular buyers all turned up, but then the real numbers started kicking in. Because of the Whatnot Card Show main stage feature, we were sitting around 200 to 300 viewers consistently pretty much the whole stream, which was a massive confidence boost, because if like 30 people turned up, I don't know what I would have done. We'd have like £3,000 of free stuff and be giving it out to a small room of people, but it wasn't like that at all. The chat was popping all night. People were buying. The first few giveaways landed perfectly and everything felt like it was actually working. There was this one moment where I glanced over at the screen and I saw we had nearly 300 people watching us sell singles, and I don't know, something about that hit me like it was actually going to plan. The main goal of all of this was to grow the account with new buyers, and we definitely achieved that. So we ended up running about 500 singles, which is crazy. We cleared out all the vintage packs, so every single one of those rocket packs sold. We sold hundreds, and I mean hundreds of packs below retail price, like to get everyone a really good deal and to get a bin on the buyers giveaways. We did a booster box break of Team Up, which was insane. We definitely lost money on it, but it was so fun. We even had people ripping their packs, which was just so sick. So shout out to those guys that did that. Then of course we were giving out the EV slabs for free every 30 minutes. And we ended with the big Nintendo 64 giveaway right at the end. By the end of the stream, I was pretty lost for words, really. We ended up doing a total of £23,000 of sales in a little over 6 hours. And I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how much profit we made on that, but the main goals for us were ticked off. So we wanted to make it the biggest stream we've ever done. We wanted to give people really amazing deals on Pokemon products and introduce as many new people to Grail Gallery and show people what we're all about. And I think we achieved that. Like, I think we smashed it out the park. As soon as that was over, I went straight to bed because I knew the next day was gonna be mental. Here was the state of my lounge the next day. So we had 1,700 orders and 297 packages to post. I booked the day off work to do it, thinking that it would only take me a day. I ended up having to take the next day off work as well. I think in total it took us around 15 hours to pack everything, but we did it. We did it in the end. We got the car loaded up with 297 packages and took them all to the post office. And with that, all the planning, all the effort, it was finally over. I originally made this YouTube channel with the sole purpose of trying to get a little bit better on camera. I've always wanted to make YouTube videos, not to be famous or anything, but more for the creative side. So the editing and the filming and the storytelling, that kind of thing. But for years, I shied away from actually posting anything, mostly because I just didn't want to put my face out there. I've always been a pretty introverted person, but eventually I realized, how was I ever going to edit or create anything if I didn't just start and turn on the camera? So I picked up the camera and I started filming pack openings. It made sense at the time. I was already spending a load of money on Pokemon cards, so why not film it and also get some reps in on the camera at the same time? Now, of course, YouTube is pretty saturated when it comes to pack opening videos, so those videos never really took off. And that's when I started slipping into the same trap that I think a lot of creators do, which is starting to chase views. I'd look at the numbers after every single upload and get really bummed out, and then just go back to the drawing board and try and come up with the next big idea that was going to blow the channel up. Some of you people who've been around for ages are going to remember this, but I once made a video where I had to spin a forfeit wheel every 10 Pokemon packs that we opened. I ended up doing like 300 push-ups in a video. I have no idea what I was doing. But a few months later, I had a moment of clarity and I asked myself, why did I start this channel in the first place? And the answer wasn't to go viral. It was a creative outlet, a way to make videos that I loved and to improve myself. And that's when I started documenting the business side of Pokemon, because I love the hobby and I like trying to create these little cinematic moments, even though they're pretty amateur. So it just made sense to blend the two, to take you guys on a journey of building this business and telling the story the best way that I possibly can. And that brings us to now. When I take a second to think about how far we've actually come, it's kind of mad. Like, the first videos on the channel were literally just me sat in front of a camera, scrambling to sell a few bits of stock and praying we didn't lose too much money on stream. And now, fast forward to here, we're running 6-hour shows, selling out vintage packs, giving away PSA 10s, and hitting £20,000 in a single night.
I think sometimes when you're so focused on what's next, it's quite easy to forget about how far you've come in the first place. And man, we have come so far. None of it would have been possible without you guys being here to support us along the way. So whether you've been here since the early videos or this is the very first video you've seen, thank you genuinely. You've given me a platform to express myself and to share the things that I love doing, and I cannot thank you enough. Lately, I feel like I've lost that purpose a bit. Like I used to make videos because I wanted to, and right now I feel like I've been making them because I have to. And I think that's started to come across when I've been uploading my videos. It's only really just hit me now, which is why I wanted to tack this onto the end of this video. I want to get back to making the videos that you guys love. So the transparency of the business, the real highs and lows, and the effort that you subscribed for. Somewhere along the way, as things got busier and the business started to grow, priorities just started to shift. But starting now, I'm resetting, I'm making videos that I enjoy. But that also means that not every single video is going to be about building the business. Sometimes I just want to come on here and rip some packs, and other times I might just sit down and talk about what's going on in the hobby, for example. And I'm okay with that because that's stuff that I enjoy, something that actually means something to me, and hopefully it does to you too. I met a few of you at CardCon the other weekend, and that's actually kind of what sparked this. Just chatting with some people who watch the videos and follow along and support us, it really reminded me of why I started doing this in the first place. It's not about numbers or algorithms or sponsors, it's about this community that we're building. And someone saying that they love the videos or they look forward to each one means more than I can ever explain. So from here on out, I'm going back to making content that actually matters to me, the kind of stuff that I would want to watch myself. And if you're here for that, please hit the subscribe button. I'm also giving away a Glory of Team Rocket booster box on my Instagram right now, so head over to Max Does Pokemon on Instagram. I'll put the link in the description. Thank you guys so much for all the support. This video has been really hard to put together, so I appreciate you being here and watching, and I will catch you very soon.